Welcome everyone to the Tuesday edition of Minions of the Zoo. I'm your keeper Skep Tock, and with me I have minions Prospero
Hello.
and Jenna.
Hola.
It's nice to see both of your icons this evening. I always think it's interesting. We're kind of doing a TV show where none of us really show our face. We should do a face reveal show sometime.
We're all on remote, you know.
So,
You gonna get rid of your snowflake now that it's spring?
yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
I'll wait till the freezing weather stops. You know,
I was gonna say it's time for giant pollen blob.
It's 38 here.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's just too damn cold.
you guys are socked in for a bit more winter, I'm afraid.
Oh man, the
We
high
live in New
day was
England.
barely 70 degrees.
Oh, I am so heartbroken for you. We got in the 60s. We're getting ready to have a little warm pop, and then we'll settle back down in the 60s.
Let me get my violin.
As much as I hate the Virginia winters, the Virginia springs are really pretty okay. When it's nice, it's just the nicest, freshest weather. You just feel like there's hope in the air, kind of.
They're also
I love
pretty spring in the state is very, very pretty.
Very much so.
You get a rather protracted event of fruit trees and blooming ornamentals and
wildflowers. People don't realize there are wildflowers in Virginia. Those meadow flowers, all those different
wildflower blends. That do very well here, usually.
Of course, yeah. I would imagine so.
But we have a wealth of trees and variety.
And you have actual trees there.
Real trees, yes, trees that are big and tall.
We call something that's a 30-foot tall tree. That's a tall tree.
Yeah. Well, you got big winds in Texas, and we don't.
And we don't have a lot of water.
No.
To
support it.
It's not that accessible. And
you have a lot of land.
A lot of land without a lot of water.
When you get down toward Louisiana, you get into the big piney woods down there. Then you get some very huge trees, very old trees. Those are the only really tall trees in Texas.
Well, in the state tree, the cottonwood, which is a sprawling, low habitat tree.
Yeah, it's basically a large weed.
Yeah.
To be quite frank.
Well, if they get clustered together, they're kind of pretty. It almost looks like a giant shrub.
Yeah, that's what it is. It actually is. It's anyway. So it's like so. Anyway, Jen, how you been today?
Tired.
What's been going on in your life?
Kids.
More?
What's the matter with kids today?
Kids. What's the matter with kids today?
Paul.
What is
that impersonation of Paul Land?
Yeah.
They play outside, but it's really cold, so they're biting
just a PSA. Prospero and I have not lost our mind. We were singing something from Bye Bye Birdie.
Yes.
And just reminiscing about a funny line.
I'm
sorry, Jenna. Go ahead.
I always assume there's something that you both know that
it's before your time,
or it's obscure or something nerdish that we both cherish.
Yeah.
Tom Lane, e.g.
The kids are what's it called? They have the winter blues. They're sick of being inside.
They got cabin fever.
Thank you, cabin fever. It's crazy, and I've had a bad migraine for 2 days, so
even better.
So, how are you functioning now? How are you feeling? having any relief from taking any medicine for the migraine?
I have. So if I have to jump out off,
Sure.
if I start
Absolutely. Yeah.
like I'm speaking another language.
Uh-oh, you're roboting a little bit too.
Yeah, you're
What?
roboting. That's okay. That's okay. She's back now. Well, nobody asked me how my week was, but
Well,
it's been interesting. But first of all, let's welcome Adam to the squad of fun havers tonight. How you doing, buddy?
Adam,
Adam.
are you muted?
Adam.
Push talk.
No, sorry, I forgot I had a mute button on my
No.
headset.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I do that. I've done that several times.
Yeah.
You having a good day? Good day, eh?
It is Tuesday.
Yes,
It's Tuesday. That's why we're all gathered together.
this must
Have a
be
little
Belgium.
fun, talk it over.
That's a little bison quote. Hey, thanks for letting me hop on. Holy shit! Hey,
You're always welcome here. You know that.
Jenna Prospero.
Yes.
Love it.
I love how you're always surprised that either me or Prospero are with.
Well, hey, look.
Why does that strike me as funny? Tickles my funny.
I like to keep a kind of a spark going,
Of course you do.
I love Skep, and Skep inviting me is always that, bah. But then it's it's Prospero and Jenna. Oh,
You get a bonus.
yeah. Hey, I mean, I'm happy about it.
For just
We're
$5
happy
more,
you're here.
you have a
For just $5 more, kids eat free.
Well, hopefully they're getting a good
I-
nutritionist menu.
Here, have this bag of cheese.
So, Adam, ask me how much I'm enjoying that new $100 Austin guitar Telecaster ripoff.
Whoa! How? Oh, what have you done with it?
Pardon me?
Well, what have you been doing with it?
Well,
I
got a little, Fender effects amp, and with like 18 embedded effects in
Wait,
it.
like a pedal system?
Well, no, this is actually controlled by a set of dials.
Ooh.
And they're just preset things and you can change all that by changing the individual settings if you want more gain, more drive, or reverb, or trim or whatever. So anyway, I've been having some fun with it. I found it in a music store and I felt it up.
Was that the one that you got for the bargain because it had been hanging on the wall for so long?
Well, I felt the sides of it, and the frets felt jagged against my fingers. What that means is
shrinkage.
That guitar has been out right in the air,
drying,
and it shrunk, and the frets, which were cut and fit to when it was a little bit bigger, now that it's pruned up a little bit, there's nothing wrong with the guitar. It's a little bit smaller. What you do is
file down.
Yeah, I have a proper luthier tool that I use, file thing that I use, and I just filed each one individually. Anyway, I walked up to the guy. It's like a $300 guitar. I said, he wanted like $160. When that guitar is $100, when you want to sell a guitar for $100, call me. He said, I want to sell it to you right now. I said, done. And I walked out with it, paid $100 for it. And it's in perfect condition. It had the manufacturer's, the plastic still on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was totally protected in perfect, beautiful shape. The everything. The only thing I had to do was a little bit of work on the nut and the fretwork. It's awesome. So I'm having a blast anyway.
Yo,
Having a second child that I'm practicing like 2 hours a day.
It's nice though because that's $100 well spent.
Oh yeah, God, get that much amusement as I have. When have I gotten that much fun out of $100? Seriously,
Skep, I have an important question.
maybe some interesting tomahawk roast. Anyway,
ooh,
Skep, I have an important question.
oh.
please.
Was it the summer of '69 when you picked up your first 6-string?
Yeah, exactly. The government of Canada has apologized for on repeated occasions. Yes.
I couldn't do pop culture jokes too.
It's funny because I actually loved that song when it came out. So it was
It
awesome.
was my ringtone for a while on my phone.
1969 was actually when I bought my first electric guitar. Then that's that MotZ Atom that I took pictures of and posted on Minions. Remember that? Adam.
Hey, yeah, how could you forget a MotZ? You know, come on.
Yeah, so that's my beauty. I've got to get her fixed. The pots have to be replaced, and really all the wires inside need to be replaced. And
Oh yeah, just
that
like
will probably involve replacing, the pickups and basically.
well, how's the
gut
body and
rehabbing it. Body's
how's-
in perfect shape, cherry shape,
how's the stem?
cherry. And the truss rod has never been touched. The neck is absolutely ramrod straight.
Not gonna lie, dude. I would love to.
It's an awesome guitar,
Dude. Avengers MotZ guitar.
Yeah, the Ventures, man. This is the exactly. It even has the Ventures with their logo on the headstock, which that was why I took the separate picture of the headstock.
Well, that's what makes it unique, you know. That's where
Here, I'll actually show that. Hey, that's worth doing. I love that.
One of Cree's favorite albums is a Ventures album, so I understand.
It's just great music. It just is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just he loves Walk Don't Run. It's but it's upbeat, happy.
Surfer music.
Huh?
Surfer music.
Oh yeah, it is, but it's cheerful. It beats the fuck out of grunge.
It's a nice. I don't know. I kind of stumbled upon it because of ska music. So.
So retrofitting the Ventures into your.
Is this like Our House kind of ska music?
No, I think it's it's a kind of a viewpoint of connection between the two, surfer rock and ska music.
Check out your screen.
Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh,
Ignore my feet. There's the
look at them feet.
People get a lot of money for showing their feet.
Come on, man. Seriously.
God damn it, Jenna.
Okay, Jenna.
Those aren't feet. Those are sock puppets. Just think of them as sock puppets.
Yes. Look at them Muppets.
You're looking at them from above. 2 sock puppets.
This is like a bad Haynes ad.
Okay, so wait. This is your MotZ, right?
Yeah, that's my.
Look at that guy.
MotZ, and
you got in '69.
Oh, hey, sorry. I might have a slight lingo.
And this is. Can you see the numbers here? Am I sharing the close up of the strings? See the numbers? The 4, the 0. It's actually stamped in. That's the same run that the Ventures took their they're guitars that they took to the first Japan tour back in I'm going to say 67 or 68. So this one had been around. This had hung around the shop for about 2 years by the time I bought it, but I bought it new.
Dude,
And I'm the only owner of this. And then you can see there's the headstock.
Yeah, dude.
You can the pictures. Stop and see the distinctive M at the top of the headstock.
Yep.
So anyway,
Oh, that is
all
a
right.
beautiful, beautiful instrument, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's not the first time somebody said that to me about that guitar.
I was gonna say, don't let that pause sit there too long. It just ain't.
Then.
It ain't gonna work.
I say
I've heard too much about your wife to know that she's never said those words to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoa.
Hey, let me tell you,
Unless
man, we've
she
been
was
we've been planting.
Record.
We're back in the farming business, by the way. We got the
lovely.
potatoes in the ground, the beans are going in.
It sounded like you said hate is in the ground. And
You got some beans?
We got some peat in the ground, that's for sure.
Oh.
Here's a wonderful garden.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Which,
We finished
how much-
weeding the tiered garden, and we're about halfway through weeding the big garden. And we have planted potatoes in the big garden, and we need to finish weeding the
This
tomato
late?
garden. Yep.
This
You're
was
a
a
little
good
late on the potatoes.
This is a good intro, I gotta say.
You know what we found is that the potatoes that we are growing, which are medium-sized reds, they grow like crazy. They grow pretty fast. We almost could grow 2 rounds if we wanted to.
You could plant a fall round probably.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The other thing is the cold weather comes in and they just stunts them, and they.
Yeah, but they're not a hot weather crop though,
Well, no, they cool nights and drainage. That's the thing with potatoes. That's what the internet says.
They work well in sacks because of that, the drainage.
Yeah.
Those big black
that's
sacks.
it. That's all we do is the big black sacks. That's
that's
the only way we would do it.
Yeah, because you can actually drag those into shade if you get some kind of weird temperature spike, Actually, the thing to do is put them on a little flatbed, screw some wheels on it, put them on a little flatbed that you could hook a handle to and pull out of the direct sun.
Yeah, that's interesting. What we did, actually, funny thing, Brenda put those up against the fence so they're partially shaded. She's so smart about that, and it just worked out perfectly.
It's either that or you could put them under if they needed partial shade until they come in, which will be before.
Well, anyway, no, we're not having any problem growing.
Good. You
You
had a terrible shot.
Tell me how to. I know
first season was
season.
unfortunate.
You remember that picture I took of the 6 little tiny tater tots?
Yeah. Did you know that potatoes could grow to be as big as a quarter?
Well, yeah, things with that the root was bigger than the edible part.
But potato vine is so pretty.
It is. It just looks like a cancer.
It's also invasive as shit.
It's not a potato. It's a tumor.
Yeah.
All I can think
Tuber, not tumor.
Yeah, exactly.
And all I can think of is the Martian. Thanks.
Oh man, we went through some changes.
When you say the Martian, I picture Marvin the Martian, and you're talking about the movie.
Yeah, where he grew potatoes from his comrades.
Yeah, I didn't see the movie. Didn't want to.
Wait, what movie are you talking about?
The Martian.
See, my problem is the Martian. I immediately picture Marvin the Martian. I just can't help. I can't help
wait.
Yeah.
with Matt Damon.
Good. That
and
was that one, right? With that funny laugh.
He was the one with "Hello, Earthling."
Yeah, that's right. Yes, yes.
oh, the little green guy.
Yes. Behold my power ray.
Yeah, the old
Yes.
Looney Tune character.
Yes.
And I think Jenna's talking about
He had like a
the
Centurion
Martian.
helmet.
Well, no,
But no, it was a
I think
Greek.
it was a movie, old movie.
Yeah, the Martian is. It's not that old.
Well, I mean, like, was it like 2011?
Oh,
Something like that.
Yeah, it was probably. I guess he was a whole decade. That makes it wicked old.
Look, after a certain point, time just kind of accelerated. So
And you're telling me?
I don't like it either.
Wait till you're my age, buddy.
Hey,
2015.
20.
Oh, I know why I didn't see it. Matt
Why?
Damon was in it.
Matt Damon was in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I had no interest in seeing it.
He's not that insufferable.
He's totally insufferable.
In the movie, I mean,
He's
I
a Matt
know
Damon.
he's insufferable, but
And that's a Marvin the Martian.
All right. We don't want to get copy struck.
No, and that'll probably happen anyway.
Yeah. Breaking the law. It's my way.
All right. So, hey.
It's
those
time
are-
for an.
The state has deemed this disinformation. This stream has been terminated. Return to your homes and shelter in place. Wait for the execution squad to call on you.
Uh-oh.
I hear that.
maybe they'll get the
start knocking
crick
on
out
your
of my
doors.
neck.
Maybe they'll get the crick out of your neck. That's a way to put a positive spin on face wall, comrade. Thank you. The crick in my neck squad.
You're very welcome.
If John Cleese shows up and demands your liver.
Yeah. Oh,
He doesn't want my liver.
Jenna, I wanted you to know that Cree and I have scheduled our tour of the temple that's being consecrated this May.
Oh, cool.
They've got the tours are starting this week and go it's about 3 weeks.
Where is that?
The new Mormon temple here in town.
Really?
Yeah, it's not all that far from where we are. What's pretty funny is it's not far from one of the larger mosques in town either. I'm sorry, I wasn't laughing.
It's okay. You can laugh.
So this is one that's just been built that has
Yes.
been made sacred by
Right. It has not been
No,
consecrated,
it hasn't
consecrated.
been
Right.
concentrated.
dedicated and consecrated. So
Has it been concentrated?
Yes, very much so. It's actually the landscaping work around it is quite beautiful.
Is it a normal size or is it
It's
one of
not the
petite?
great and powerful Oz has spoken size.
No, it's more like a
It's-
big loaf of bread with a steeple.
Like the
It's one of the petite ones. So
the
people
steeple is huge, but the actual
And the sides of the Wonder Bread would have columns.
the
And so would
sanctuary
the ends.
the sanctuary size is not. It actually looks a lot like the Congregational Church in Hingham.
It does.
did, but for the oversized steeple. Are you looking at a picture of it?
I am looking at it. In fact, I'll
Yeah.
share this real quick.
For being on a corner, on a rather busy road. The cross street isn't that busy, but the main drag that it's on is quite busy.
Oh, it's bigger than I thought it was. Than you were talking about.
Yeah,
It's
is
not
it-
huge.
No, it is not huge. It's not like the one up in DC. Skep, you know the one I'm talking about, the one in Maryland.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That somebody wrote "Surrender Dorothy" on the overpass.
Right.
On
That's still pretty
495.
big.
It is very big. I mean, the steeple is oversized to the building.
And Moroni's there.
Of course, he is.
What is that?
The
Oh,
angel.
and for the
The size of
Boston temple,
cars.
we had a fight to get Moroni.
The angel on top of the
Is
steeple.
is Moroni the angel that's on top of the?
Yes.
I
Yes.
did not know that. Okay, good. to
Just
know.
like it in Salt Lake.
He's the
Nice.
angel that went to Joseph Smith.
Yeah, that's Route 33, which goes out to Harrisonburg and to God knows where else on the other side. It's still in town, so it carries a Staples Mill
I'll say
Road.
this: it's beautiful.
It is lovely.
It is.
It
and
has
it's-
kind of an almost Teutonic, Athenian beauty to it.
Yes,
you know.
the steeple's very Teutonic because it's very fuck you up there in your face.
Exactly, it's like a raised fist.
But the rest of the building is Greek Revival.
I agree completely.
Yeah, I can see the columns.
It does not look that big when you drive by it. Believe it or not, this photograph, because it's a drone photograph, actually gives you a very different feel for what it's like when you're. Now, I'm usually driving alongside it, so
I mean, you know,
beneath where this
camera
drone,
angle shots kind of
Right.
give you a little thicker.
It looks like
you know,
it's a
you know.
one floor.
but you see, yeah, but beneath, where this drone is the street I'm usually on, the road I'm usually on. So I've got an oblique look at it as opposed to coming down Staples Mill Road or going north on Staples Mill. But that's about 5 miles from our house,
I wonder what it cost to build.
if not less.
I wonder what that cost to build.
I can't imagine. It's been an ongoing project for 3 years, I think, if not
Yeah,
longer.
Yeah, it'd be.
it takes a long time to build them.
Well, that's because it's built. You know, this is like how we used to build our public buildings. You know, if you go to DC and you're looking at the museums and you're looking at like the Treasury building or those kinds of buildings, we used to build our public buildings over a rather lengthy period of time because we were building them to last, particularly using neoclassical, Greek Revival, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a striking. See, the problem is this, where I see it obliquely, it really makes the steeple look out of proportion when I'm crossing that 4-lane road that you see. So that's what looks awkward to me.
Is
The
it
rest
Yeah,
of
pretty
it,
good. It's a pretty good visibility from that road. It looks like.
yeah, I
You're able
don't
to see it from a ways away.
Yeah, I don't come down that road. It's, you know, I have traveled it many a time, but it's not in my normal
It's not
flight
in your,
path.
yeah,
Flight
I
path
know,
these
I know what you
days.
mean. Yeah,
It's always a road I'm crossing.
your P1 orbital.
Yeah,
the electron hovering close to the proton.
that's it.
That's
you know?
that's what we do.
And I can drive by things and never even notice them because you're on autopilot. You drive a certain route so many times. The only thing your brain is registering are red lights and brake lights.
Right.
And bicycles. And that, you know, you're so busy with, well, there's so many idiots on the road now.
Yeah. Well, you also have these memorized intellectual, they're like you know how muscle memory works?
Yes.
We have intellectual things that are like that are memorized behaviors. You know how to drive a car. Your muscles and your mind are in tune. It's unconscious. You've done it so many times. It's so deeply ingrained. You know exactly how to control it, what to look for, where to look.
And unthinking
successful drivers all have that, I think.
Yeah.
You're telling me it's unconscious when someone drives a car.
Well, yeah.
Well, it isn't, but it is. There's, I mean, and I'm not talking about road fugue or anything like that, which
No.
we all develop that too. That's
yes, exactly.
especially on interstate.
That's a different thing though than what you were describing. I knew what you meant.
No, it's like your brain has mapped routes that you drive, and
Sure.
you're like a little blip moving on those routes because
Little Pac-Man.
you're that attuned to them, and you're that attuned to the vehicle. One of the things I hate about some of these safety things that they put on cars, because they can be tricked, like the little "you're leaving your lane" beep 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 thing. Sunlight can mess with that. If it reflects off the road, it'll go beep 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 beep. I'm nowhere near the line, you piece of shit.
Right.
You find yourself talking to your car. I really don't like those proximity stop things that cars will do. Like, let's say you're pulling up into your driveway up to the garage. You know how fast you're going, your foot's already on the brake, and it decides to have a stroke and stop you. That kind of stuff makes me crazy. The car taking over certain things. Some of the stuff you can turn off. Some of the stuff I wouldn't dare turn off because it really is too valuable in the event I am not capable of performing the act it performs.
Right.
Do you have a Tesla?
God, no. But Subaru has a lot of little bells and whistles and hooplas that they've put on cars, certain assists and things like that. That, depending on conditions, you have to futz with.
Subaru is one of the few cars I would consider, other than a Toyota, having, and just some Subarus and maybe a couple of the Hondas. If I was picking a new car.
Honda and Toyota were always the two that I was looking at. Subaru for a while was so boxy. I was like, I don't know.
Toyota's unexciting, but very reliable.
Yeah, you know what did it for me with Toyota? They enlarged the RAV to the size of the Highlander. They enlarged the Highlander to the size of the damn Forerunner.
It was a huge mistake in
And then they
the RAV4.
My
RAV4, by the by, my RAV4 is the last year of the small RAV4.
Yep, good for
2005.
you.
2005. It's our RAV4S. It's got instead of the 2.5 liter, it's got the 3.5 liter.
I had a 2002. And
really?
Yeah, love that.
RAV4. Oh, that's awesome choice.
Loved it. Had it for 14 years.
Oh man.
We've had
ours since 2005.
Yeah. We got rid of ours when we got
12,000 miles on
my Outback. The reason, that made me angry, that and the gated shifts. I freaking hate gated shifts, okay? I can't stand them. Free's like, look, it's just a thing. And I'm like, no, it's an annoying goddamn thing. And it pisses me off. It's like the 3-point shot. It pisses me off so much, I'm done.
Yeah.
And he was like, because I said, this is all because
not a fan of the 3-point shot, are you?
No, I think it ruined basketball.
Yeah.
I think it ruined the board game.
You're not wrong.
I think it ruined the key. I think it ruined everything.
When was the last time you saw somebody shoot from the top of the key, except by mistake?
Yeah.
Nobody takes set shots anymore.
No.
They should have encouraged that. Anyway, don't get me started on basketball.
The other thing I don't like is the dunking, because all it did was encourage the
animal behavior.
Well, if you're 6'8", if you're 6'8" and under, good luck getting into the game.
Yeah. You know how they could get rid of all of that is just no hands permitted in the ball cylinder over the rim.
Yeah.
That's no hand, not even a fingertip. You do that, you foul, or whatever.
Yeah, it would be like a reverse of goaltending to some extent.
Right. And if you do that, you get rid of dunking. You get rid of you get rid of a lot of the height advantage, actually, and the guys who can get set up outside and release quickly on a set shot will be
that, and guys,
and that's more interesting. That's more fun to watch. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And guys who can drive the board.
Yes,
you-
guys who actually can take it to the board and or drive. Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the great ways, if you wanted to draw fouls, possibly get somebody kicked out, is to have a little guy like Nate Archibald.
Yeah.
Remember him? Nate
I
the
remember
State.
Nate Archibald. Yeah.
You know, he was what, 5'8"? I mean, he
Yeah.
was small.
Spud Webb.
And he'd come in, drive that board for a layup, and you got all these big old guys hand slapping. You
Hi,
know,
Adam.
or hip checking, you know, so you end up
Yes.
with that kind of contact. You pull you know, best of three.
Yeah.
You know, you got 3 chances to make 2. And you saw a lot of guys foul out on fast.
So who's
guys
going to
moving.
win the
I don't give a shit.
in the March Madness?
I love it to be Farley Dickinson. Are
Wouldn't
they
that be?
still in the tournament? I mean, after they beat Purdue,
I have absolutely no idea.
and Furman beat UVA.
Yes, Furman beat UVA, which
First
was
round.
that supposed to happen?
No, it was not. Just like
Okay.
Purdue, number 1 seed in the North, got beat by Farley Dickinson.
Wow.
Lol, it happens. This is what happens. You've got these wild mismatches coming out of these divisions, you know, as you then put them in the geographic north, south, east, west thing. And then you end up with a team like Purdue going in. They're ranked number 1 in their division in the north, meeting up with Farley Dickinson. They don't expect much. They expect to win.
Yep.
And they lose.
Yeah.
Because,
by the way, Farley they lost
nicked
to
New
Florida.
Jersey.
They lost to Florida Atlantic FAU 78-70
that's okay. That was
on Sunday.
78-70 is fine. But the guys from TNIC were able to beat Purdue. Lol.
Yep.
And just like Furman beating UVA.
At 63-58, they beat them.
Yep.
They beat that. They just outplayed them. I
Yeah, they
saw,
did.
I saw part of that game. That was
And they were hungrier. You know, remember back in the day before Gonzaga really had the strong program, you know, and they showed up in one of those tourneys as basically the Cinderella team.
yeah.
And, you know, it was like, wow. Just watch these guys take it all the way to the big dance. And it's, you know, some schools have predicated, you know, a big money basketball program based on being able to pull off one of those kinds of March Madness deals. But I was a pro sports fan more than I was college when I
Yep.
was a kid.
Just before we get away from college, Rotten Corpse says, I just hope Ohio State loses.
That would make
Just
me
on
happy.
principle.
Yeah, that'd make me happy
Thank
too.
you. Yeah, we feel that.
Anybody from the ACC or SEC just
Yep.
fucking hates the Ohio State University.
Oh, no kidding.
Just because.
But anyway, you were saying that you
That's not
prefer
nice
the
to Adam.
pro, and why?
That now who? Oh,
You said
mainly
you
because it
prefer
was
professional.
more entertaining to me.
Okay.
And I wasn't exposed to a lot of college basketball.
Yeah.
They're just, I mean, I did follow my team when I was in college. I went to a lot of games.
Mhm.
And so I became more interested in this. That was before the 3-point shot.
When it was still basketball.
Yeah, when it was still basketball. It's not basketball anymore.
Yeah,
It's land of the
this-
Giants.
Yeah, alley-oop, land of the Giants, exactly.
And
it's not interesting or fun.
It's not something that people like you and I as kids would look at and think, I want to play that.
It's not something that
Because I would know it's inaccessible.
I blame LeBron James.
Okay, Kyle asked a question of Prospero,
Yes.
and it's on the screen. How did the 3-point ruin basketball? Kyle wants to know.
You get nothing but 3-point shooters. You just don't see the game as the way it used to be played.
There's such a premium on the 3-point shot. That's
Yeah.
all. That's the only outside shot that gets taken.
Yeah, guys.
There's no shots
guys
from the
are-
key, no 10-foot
And they can't
runners.
free throw. You know, these guys cannot hit free throw shots.
for shit.
That pro ball, they have like a 26%.
Yeah, no.
And those are free points. Those are free points. Now, if you're used to shooting from the top of the key, you can learn to get used to shooting from the foul line. You can develop a muscle memory there. But these coaches, I mean, they're
Do
giving.
you remember when 70% was considered deficient?
Yes. Yes. And
Yeah.
then, as they began to get taller and they began to have dunks and they began to have all these other prize things, nobody, Wilt Chamberlain, looking at you,
Will
buddy.
Chamberlain. Yeah, right.
Nobody,
Case in point.
nobody is going to give a shit whether you can shoot your foul shots. But how many games do you see that the difference in the score is 3 or 4 points?
Yep.
Those are all those are all free throws that were left lying on the floor. Every one of them.
So many times. And that's a statistic that I look at too. Because when I see a
roll my
box
eyes.
score, I just, yeah.
They don't
Do you
care.
know-
Sorry,
Do you
Jen.
know that Shaq only made 1 3-point in his entire career?
Shaq only made
Yep.
1 3-point.
Yeah, I can believe that. He wasn't an outside shooter. He was just such a big.
I wonder how many he took.
How many he tried?
I'll bet he actually tried quite a few, because when they were losing or when it was close, he might have let go a long shot,
Yeah.
cut down his percentage. So that's kind of a weird statistic anyway.
Yeah,
I
but
hate the 3-point shot. It was supposed to fix it, and it just made it worse.
I remember when Ralph Sampson was talking about going pro.
Mm-hmm.
He was at UVA. And that was back in the 70s. Back in the day where, the 70s.
I remember Ralph Sampson. He was a
tall, skinny as a little rail.
strong
Yeah.
guy.
And
dude.
Daryl Dawkins was still playing for the 76ers.
Yep.
And my comment when Sampson said he wanted
Doc.
to go pro was
Mhm.
that Dawkins was going to knock him into the cheap seats without even breathing hard. Because
Dawkins
Sampson,
did make a career out of that.
yeah. I mean, he was the enforcer under the boards, and
Certainly was.
he's like a big lug like Donnie Nelson was with the Celtics, and guys that could. But Ralph Sampson looked like a reed, literally looked like a reed that a strong wind would blow him down. And all I thought is he's got to hit the weight room.
Yeah.
Now, he was able to move to the pros,
Whatever happened to Sampson? Did he play in the pros for a while?
Yeah, he did. I don't remember who he played for. Jesus, this is a long time ago.
Yeah, he was 7'4".
Yeah, and
7'4". Oh my God, I'm looking at him now.
he played
He's
for
a
the
punk
Rockets.
kid, 62.
He played for the
He's a
Rockets.
punk. Yes.
But he was so little bitty. Big around. But, 3 nerves, he had knee surgeries.
Yeah, knee surgery.
That took him out. And that is not an enormous surprise, okay? Anybody who's 7'4" is going to have gone through a growth spurt that in all likelihood damaged their knees.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the guy. He came out of UCLA. Son of a bitch, what was his name? Tall, drink of water, but he went through he was a big star at UCLA. He had I think he wore knee braces all the time.
Yep.
Because he had such a growth spurt that it
just didn't have the structural strength in the knees.
It weakens the ligaments and the tendons.
Oh, does it actually?
The ligaments,
the
at least.
stress?
I
Is
think
it the stress of the extra weight, or is there something
the
systemic
stretching
going
that
on?
goes on when you enlarge the
That's what I
bones
mean.
that
Oh,
quickly.
really? Okay.
I think is
That
what.
the cartilage doesn't keep up. Okay,
Oh
that's
yeah, the
possible.
cartilage
Possible.
couldn't keep up. How could it? I'm just trying to picture how the stretchy bits of our body would keep up when you've got, your femur picking up 6
When you
inches.
make that stuff, I never studied much about that. I would have to study up on that.
Cannot remember that guy's name. I keep thinking it was Pete something, but I'm probably thinking it. Let me see. Men's basketball stars from the.
Interesting that his son Ralph Sampson III was a college basketball player for Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Ah,
So that's kind of cool. That's semi-pro. I consider NC2A, it's really kind of pro ball, semi-pro ball, because they're kind of getting paid to play.
yeah. Well, yeah.
These are not serious students, not unless they're going to maybe Princeton or Northwestern. They still keep some standards, but that was always the thing. Northwestern football players, they're majoring in chemistry and electrical engineering. The other side would be every one of them would be PE.
Oh, Bill Walton. I think it was Bill.
Oh, Bill Walton, redhead guy. Yeah,
I think it was
Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, I think it's he that had the huge growth spurt. But I was like, I know he went to UCLA, whoever this guy was, because it was just those were the John Wooden days. So
Yeah,
a lot of people came to our attention, even if we weren't super paying attention.
yeah. Walton won the NBA championship, I guess, one time with the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, I don't know if I answered Kyle's question
So, yeah.
thoroughly enough, but I just don't like what became of basketball.
We talked to death anyway.
Yeah.
Kyle,
we
do you
both
feel
agree about
satisfied
that.
with your answer?
I know a lot of people don't understand it. That's the only way they've ever known the game to be.
Mhm.
So, an old codger like me sitting around rah, yelling at clouds.
When did 3 pointers come in?
When did they add the 3-point shots, Skep?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me look.
I can't remember the exact.
I'll find it. Hang on.
It's like the day the music died.
Yeah, day basketball died. Uh, 1979.
And it wasn't
NBA
used to death.
adopted it in 1979. Yep.
It wasn't used to death early days because he didn't have a whole lot of players who could consistently shoot from that range.
Right.
I mean, you had your point shots.
That was actually Larry Bird's rookie year. And also, I'm reading it's Magic Johnson's also his rookie year. So you did have some shooters coming in. Larry Bird is probably one of the premier shooters in NBA history, I would have to think. Would you agree? You know more about that than I do.
I actually got to see him play.
Was he really that good?
Yes.
Yeah, he was. He was, and he wasn't a complete turd either, so that helped. He'd have been good no matter what because he played for the Celtics. And if anybody could turn somebody who didn't have the greatest stats or didn't have the greatest rep into a team player, it was the Celtics, especially in the Red Auerbach days.
Yep.
Pistol Pete Maravich. One-man show when he was playing for the Jazz in New Orleans.
He was a good shooter.
He was a good
great
shooter.
Passer.
Of course, he led the team in scoring, but as a result, he developed a bad habit of being a ball hog.
Yeah.
And
You
He
don't
did.
do that on the Celtics.
No, he learned to be a team player. All around, that's one reason there's so many. There were past tense because the Garden isn't there anymore. There were so many banners in the Garden for the Celtics. Those guys played like a team. Bob Cousy didn't look at his stats. Am I the top scorer on the team? He looked at who had the shot.
Is Boston Garden gone?
Yeah.
Oh,
They built an ugly new.
Hold on. And let me interject.
Yes, sir.
Now, I will say that let me add the caveat that I am by no means any sort of intellect in the NBA. But I will say, wasn't it Michael Jordan being so competitive, especially against Scottie Pippen, that drove the Chicago Bulls towards multiple wins?
Well, the fact that y'all had Jordan, just that alone,
Well, I mean, okay. Well, I mean, that aside,
it's just a remarkable ball player. He was absolutely one of the top ball players ever to pick up a basketball. Michael Jordan was amazing. Just, that's something else.
And he was also very good at baseball.
Yes, he
Like,
was wildly competitive. Is why he left to do the baseball thing was after his dad was killed.
oof. Well, okay. That was,
Yeah, I always had a feeling that was one of those things that you better do it now or you'll never get the chance. And that's what drove Jordan to do that.
yeah.
I
Well,
remember when Jordan tried to play baseball.
He actually was good. If he had started from jump, like out of college, I think he would have made the pros. But he was, in sports terms, he was more than middle aged when he did that.
I think he knew where his legacy was.
Yes, he
You know.
did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. But there are a lot of guys. It's interesting, the guys that are double whammies.
Who was it that played basketball? Maybe basketball, but football, baseball. It was Bo.
Oh,
Bo Jackson?
Bo
Bo
Jackson.
Jackson. Yeah, Auburn kid.
Bo Jackson could have played Tiddlywinks and won. Bo Jackson,
Yep.
one of the most natural athletes ever to be born.
Modern day Jim Thorpe.
Absolutely. I remember reading an interview with him where the interviewer showed up and he had set up an archery butt in his backyard and he was shooting from his deck, like bullseye after bullseye after bullseye.
It's just a different level of athletic ability.
Yeah. There's some people. Yeah.
Addie wanted to point out that Jordan would also be good at bowling.
Probably.
Or he's asking us
yeah.
if he would be good at bowling.
Probably because he's a highly competitive man.
I'd like to state that
I'll bet he
abilities-
would not. I'll bet if he started doing it, he wouldn't be bad for long.
That's it. And we wouldn't see him be bad.
Right, exactly.
Because he'd be at the alley all day the day before league play.
Until he got competitive with it.
You know what?
Like he does with golf and baseball.
Yes.
If it was me, wow. Thanks, Popeye speech. If it was with me,
Been there, done that.
I would have popped down the bumpers on the side just to have some fun, See how it goes.
Bowl with the bumpers,
Whoa.
and I get a score of 37.
With the bumpers?
Just because of the way my arm extends.
Hey.
It's weird.
Well,
You should just see me throw a
frisbee.
Frisbee.
Is this post accident or before? Always.
Before.
Always.
It's because of the thalassemia. It was because of the Stickler syndrome.
Yep.
Well, see, that's why you want to see some extreme score points on that. You know.
Hey, if I get over a 37, I'm happy.
Are you talking about candle pin or 10 pin? Big ball or little ball?
I'm talking 10. I don't know what Adam's talking.
No, not 10.
10.
I know. I understand there are 10 pins in both types. I'm talking. Is it candle pin bowling, the small ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the big ball. No,
Or the big
it's
ball.
the big one.
Okay. I hated candle pin bowling. Freaking hated
Have
it.
you ever bowled ducks? Have you ever bowled duck pins?
No.
That's a very Virginia thing.
Yeah,
by
my
the way.
dad
There's
used to do some
Central
duck pin bowling.
and southwestern Virginia.
We
What's
did.
a
Big
duck
duck
pin?
pin country.
I only did the regular big ball, regular pins, not the little.
But
spot.
but you said you bowled candles because I bowled candles too.
In New England, they had a candlestick bowling was more popular. Can't stand it.
Yeah, my family.
It's like
so
softball for
frustrating.
bowling. It's like softball.
Yeah, it is.
For
It is.
bowling.
That's really an apt analogy. It's
One
exactly
of those things
right.
that if you can do something reasonably
Unsatisfying.
well with the larger ball, and then you go to this ball, and with baseball, it's the opposite.
And it's just
The small-
shit.
Yeah, a smaller ball with baseball, perfect.
Yes,
Get the
I
large
know
ball,
exactly.
you swing your guts out, the ball goes to the pitcher. You just hit a line drive that can only make it 90 feet.
Right.
And you feel like your spleen's on the floor.
It is so frustrating the way the ball just clacks through
dies.
the thing, and there's no pin action. The pins just stand around. Dum,
Yeah.
dum, dum, dum,
Like middle fingers. Like nothing but rows of middle fingers.
They have to get hit hard by
Yes.
another pin or get hit by the ball, or they're not going over.
Yeah, I
hate candle pin.
I almost
agree.
made it.
I agree. Duck pin is more amusing because the duck pins, which are just little tiny pins, they're the size of they're little tiny pins that are fat,
Oh, the size
short
of ducks.
fat, and they're
Yeah.
the size of the ball basically, which is the size of a candle pin ball. And so but the pin action is completely insane. They just it's like hitting a bunch of ping
Like
pong
hitting a
balls
duck with a ball.
Nicholas
they
has
just
a
go
set of those.
wham. The scores are insane. It's
Like Skittles.
That's much more fun. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
much more fun.
Skittle. What?
Skittles.
Skittles. Yeah, Skittles. Yeah. It is kind of like that actually.
Skittles
Anyway.
is the game out of which bowling originated. Adam.
The original
it was
bowling,
candy.
really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's.
Yeah, I was
not
thinking
talking
about the candy. I was like, wait,
she's
hold on.
talking
How does
about
the
the
delicious
ancient
Taste
game.
the
tropical
rainbow.
tasting candy?
I thought.
I don't eat Skittles anymore.
Is-
I went through
is
a period
bowling-
of it.
Is bowling
Why don't you eat Skittles anymore?
descended from Skittles?
They
also?
got woke and it pissed me off. Was what
Is
descended from Skittles?
bowls
Bowls?
descended
Yeah, I
from,
think so.
Well, no,
Skittles?
that's what threw me off because I was sitting there, haha, pun. No, that's what threw me off. I introduced like, yeah, let's have the bumpers, and then you guys started talking about like crazy different types of bowling games, and then Skittles.
Yeah.
I mean,
who went to the concession stand while I was trying to follow the conversation?
well, I mean, God sent, because I would love a delicious confectionery, tropical tasting Skittles.
Yeah, I gave them up. They went woke. They pissed me
Yeah.
off, and I
Yeah, I don't
stopped
know.
eating Skittles. I
All
make
of a
do
sudden
with
there's-
Jolly Ranchers, not the chewy kind, the hard candy ones.
Well, I hope it's not hard because I want to crack my teeth.
No, you basically have to like suck on them for a half an hour.
Sounds like a lot
See,
of work.
that's what I have to do with everything, anyways. So Skittles works for me.
Well, not Skittles. I'm talking about Jolly Ranchers. I pulled a crown out by trying to bite on a Jolly Rancher one time. So then I got the crown back in using the Jolly Rancher, and then realized I put the crown in backwards, and then had to pull it out again with Jolly Rancher and turn it around and stick it back in. The dentist thought that was freaking hilarious when I told him.
Yeah, he's laughing because he's sitting there fucking running
I
your credit card.
I didn't
over
I
and
didn't
over.
I didn't do any damage. I didn't do any damage to the crown, and I got it back in pretty damn firmly. They popped it out and put a little dot of adhesive in it, but it wasn't like I did any damage to it. I had a hygienist pop one of my crowns off. And when Cree was having periodontal work done,
Isn't that great?
oh yeah, it was wonderful. It was awesome. Then I had to sit in the chair for 20 minutes waiting for a dentist to be free to come take a look at the crown to make sure that she hadn't put a hole in it.
Well,
What?
better safe than sorry.
That was going to be an expensive replacement for them. But because I can't have porcelain, they have to be gold. And one of Cree's crowns, he's also like he can't have porcelain crowns. When his periodontist was doing some work in prep for implants for him, one of his crowns popped off and they never were able to find it. While he was still out, in La La Happy, they scoured the office and could not find the crown.
Hold on. Okay, they scoured the. How do they not find something that popped out of this person's mouth?
They didn't. They were like, there has got to be like a tiny, tiny little black hole in this room because they literally moved.
How big was the crown? Was it a single unit crown, a single tooth crown?
Yeah.
Single tooth crown. Boy, I wonder if it was seen as medical waste and got dumped in a red container. I bet it got thrown away.
Oh, well, they paid to have a new crown put in for him.
I was thinking he swallowed it.
So they put a tin can on, and after they took the measurement, that just sucks.
This is next Pixar story.
Sucks.
This is the Toy Story 5. There's a tooth that just popped out of somebody's mouth and fucking, I'm a new toy. And went out to go be a new toy for some poor child.
Timmy the Tooth.
Timmy the Tooth.
Oh my god.
Listen to us. We've gone this whole time and we have not talked about whether or not the ex-president of the United States is going to be indicted completely.
Holy shit, yeah, dude.
And perp walk in New York City.
I'll be right back.
That's
what do you guys think about that?
A very big reason why I wanted to jump into the chat tonight.
Yeah,
because
what's
holy shit. Yeah, dude, this is unprecedented.
So
it is unprecedented and
unprecedented. Yes, it is. It's never been happening in the middle of an election season
where he's the front runner.
Yeah,
like how ridiculous. Like okay, like I
kind of makes you wonder.
Well, no, I get that there's people out there that and look, I also let me do my RPG casting deflections. Yes, right. I sound goofy because I'm
Ruth Bader Ginsburg is
I'm fucking smoke some weed. So but then there's also the also Adam, you are tinfoil hat Adam. So you have goofy views. Haha, we'll dismiss this. The reality is no. The reality is they're looking to indict a former president. It's never been happened before. And they're looking at like really like when you look at it and you're not a biased fucking person, like it's ridiculous charges.
Yep.
And this is we're getting to a point where it's like, dude,
they're having to link
what is going on?
Like a bookkeeping error, roughly, or an accounting error that so that they can keep the thing alive just on the basis of statute of limitations has run out on the original.
Hold on, I gotta address my brown person here. Yes, I have inducted Eagle Balls power. Thank you, sir. Camel, you fucking. I'm sorry, dude. Go on.
It's like a PSA from Adam. And
yeah, don't do weed. Don't smoke weed.
Don't.
Make you goofy.
This is This is your brain on Adam.
Yep.
I always liked that thing because when I saw the eggs frying, it made me want to eat some fried eggs. I
Dude,
really
No.
liked that commercial. It
made me
always made
wanna-
me hungry.
It made me want to perfect a nice over easy.
I liked when they got
Yeah,
to.
exactly. That's what I'm going for. It's just a little over easy, please.
Yeah.
I liked when they
Not too
got to.
fried.
Instead
So-
of cooking the egg, they just
can-
smashed it with the frying pan.
Oh, that's just violence, and I don't
Well,
condone that.
this is
Yeah.
okay. You're not getting it. This is your brain on drugs, and they smash it with the frying pan. I always enjoyed that because I just thought if I ever did that in my kitchen when I was younger, my mother would hang me. I'd be
But a
dead.
nice over easy with some toast, you can dip it in there, and
Do you put jam on
Oh.
your toast with the over easy?
what kind of jam?
Any kind, whatever jam you eat.
So
Jelly.
it's not a marmalade. Can't
Orange
trust them
marmalade.
Canucks.
I love.
You like marmalade. Good to know. Anyway, so I was looking at these pictures of Skittle players. Great Flemish artists used to play, used to paint outdoor landscapes of Skittle players playing out on a lawn. It evidently was a kind of a lawn game. It said it was a historical lawn game and target sport of European origin, from which the modern sport of nine-pin bowling is descended. So that's where that comes from. In regions of the United Kingdom and Ireland, the game remains as a popular indoor pub game. And anyway, it's got kind of an obscure set of rules, but roughly take a ball, knock over the pins, something happens, some sort of scoring occurs, and bets are made, and so forth and so on. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting. Prospero had brought up the idea of what were the origins of bowling, and she mentioned Skittles, and I was wondering if it had anything to do with bowls. Not really seeing that as a direct descent. It might be that bowls is just more of a
Isn't it a descendant
slang
of
term.
bowl?
Well, I think it is
Did I miss
more of a
something?
slang term for kind of going out on the lawn and knocking
Shit
balls
around.
over, or is bowls something very specific? I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Bowling on the green, bowling green.
Yeah, I thought bowls itself was a game.
I mean, bowls, also known as lawn bowls or lawn bowling, is a sport in which the objective is to roll biased balls so they stop close to a smaller ball. So what it is it's a variation on bocce.
Bocce ball. Yeah, see,
Oh, okay.
Now
Yeah,
that's Italian.
bowls, also known as lawn bowls, is a game involving bowls, almost spherical,
Bocce.
ball-like object with flattened sides and a weight bias, and jacks, a small ball, this time spherical in shape, in which the former are bowled toward the latter on a bowling green. It can be played indoors or outside on grass or artificial surfaces. Blah 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 blah. Has a long history that stretches back to at least the 13th century and possibly earlier,
Rome, yeah.
with the world's oldest surviving bowling green, the Southampton Old Bowling Green, dating way back to 1299.
Yeah, and they think it goes back because bowls is a variant of the Bulls game, in which the general form of ancient prehistoric origin Greek, throwing light objects such as flat stones, coins, or also later stone balls as far as possible.
Okay.
And then the game was spread to Roman Gaul. And then
Where did it come from? Where did
Greece probably and to Rome,
Really?
and then you
Yeah,
end up with
okay.
bocce is the derivative through the Italian line.
Hold on, I thought mochi was that
Bachi.
Japanese rice stuff.
Yes. Mochi.
Bocce.
Mochi.
Oh, mochi. Okay, yeah.
Hibachi is a kind of grill.
Yes. And bocce, BOCCE, is the Italian kind of bowls game, which is usually played in a hard packed sand pit.
Wait,
And the balls are round. They're more like croquet balls.
Which
And
at
round balls.
Oh.
Bachi?
Although in
every
Queens it's played.
we have a bocce court here at the old
Really?
at Shuffleboard Acres. We don't have a shuffleboard court, but we have a bocce court.
You have a bocce court. Nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Bocce balls.
Yes,
That's actually pretty cool.
it is. Bocce's a fun game to play. Just like cornhole. It's something to pass the time.
Yeah.
It's
something to do while you talk with
physical.
people.
Yeah. And
That's another game I suck at.
Cornhole.
Yeah.
Cornhole is like bowling for me. There is a beer bell curve. First game kind of weak. You get a beer in you. Second game strong. Muscles have relaxed. Muscle memory takes over. You're not as tense about what you're doing. And then, you drink that second or third beer, and all of a sudden it's like, what the fuck? I don't remember how to do this.
So that's what I've been doing wrong.
You guys talk
Not
about
drinking.
the cornhole game. Do you know what the cornhole was? Had a different meaning.
Yes, it did.
When I was in the Navy.
Yes, it did. Yes, it
I
did.
mean-
And I knew that meaning. And when I first heard the term cornhole, I said, "You've got to be kidding me."
That's exactly what was my reaction just now. Just hearing
Who
that, I
the
just
fuck called this cornhole?
I just could not believe this was happening on this show. I thought, wait a minute, what are these people saying?
It's like
Do they
when
know what
Virginia
this means?
when Virginia called their variant of No Child Left Behind standards of learning SOLs, and I was like, no, SOL means shit out of luck.
Right.
Y'all
Which is what the
accidentally
kid
told
is.
the truth.
Yeah, really.
No one in our House of Delegates, no one stood up and said,
This is stupid.
I'm going to be indelicacy. I mean, I swear to God, if I had been sitting in the chamber, I would have stood up and said, "You'll have to pardon my indelicacy," but SOL for most of the public means shit out of luck.
Yeah. What do you think you're doing?
Stop this.
Yes, stop this, the adult.
I mean, just call it LOL and cut to the chase. Speaking of Trump.
Speaking of Trump, yes.
Recent chatter is questionable now. They're beginning to back away from, an indictment could come tomorrow, but Costello,
or maybe never.
It was supposed to come today.
Costello, who is a legal advisor to Cohen, has testified apparently before that grand jury, telling them that Cohen is a serial liar.
So the grand jury retired today without coming to any conclusion about this.
Yeah, and I mean, if they've got a former,
it means they're still talking.
A former legal advisor to Michael Cohen, claiming that Michael Cohen is a serial liar.
Yeah,
and that because the only thing that they have on the books is legal fees that were paid to Cohen, who was indeed an attorney working for the Trump organization. That's not unusual. I think Cohen got himself in trouble and then began singing like a little bird. And then he made the gesture of re-registering as a Democrat and, all these kinds of things. It's how do you take that before a jury and not have at least somebody go, I smell a rat and the rat's name is Michael Cohen.
Yeah.
Well,
he couldn't even stay on house arrest without getting caught in a restaurant.
Didn't Michael Avenatti even kind of say like this is gonna go nowhere?
He might have. I don't. I mean, Avenatti, creepy porn lawyer. Yeah, creepy cornhole porn lawyer.
Oh God, I knew it. Yeah,
that's kind of adding to the point of like this is all.
He said, she said. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are these people doing?
It's like the Spider-Man meme. Everybody pointing at each other.
Yes.
Oh, Assassin wrote, the Secret Service has made it clear that Donald Trump will not be handcuffed nor perp walked, and the statute of limitation for everything is long expired.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Just in these interest of making sure that we're getting correct information.
Allegedly.
Prospero, did you want to put the correct information out there?
I really don't think the statute of limitations has expired on.
It has expired only for the ancillary charge,
Yes.
but if the charge that they're linking it to, the election violation charge, is a federal charge, which as a federal charge it does not have a 2-year statute of limitations, but has a 5-year statute of limitations. That statute of limitations has not run out. If they allow the linkage of that original charge, he can get indicted for the charge that its state statute of limitations has run out, but because it's linked to the federal charge, they'll be able to indict on the state charge.
Although this is although this is a Manhattan DA's office.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the yeah, but
yeah. Tell me if I got it wrong. That was what I read. That was what I read. And I tried to.
Well, they're trying to tag off of this because this is the Manhattan DA's office, right?
Yeah.
The AG that ran on, we're gonna get Trump.
Well, this is the Manhattan DA's office, not the Attorney General's office of New York. But
yeah, that is what he.
This is a Soros DA. This guy.
Well, the deputy DA is a Soros stooge for sure. She is the one that they consider. Well, at least Gateway Pundit said the word is she's the brains of the operation, and Bragg.
This guy just wants to get all. He doesn't even care about convicting Trump. He just wants to get Trump's mugshot and get him indicted.
You're not going to get
known
that.
as a district attorney. That's what he thinks.
The New York City Police
wants.
Department
He's
won't allow
completely
it.
cynical. I promise you, he is completely cynical.
I don't think
they care about getting Trump at all.
I don't think, as bad as the relations are right now between the New York City Police Department and Manhattan DA's office, I don't think he's going to get what he wants, because it will be because the terms.
I see what you're saying.
Because an indictment comes in with a plan to arraign, right?
Right.
And your perp walk would be to the arraignment. Right. I don't think the New York City police are going to allow that. Also, the Secret Service has good reason not to allow it. And former presidents being protected, then
you could be considered a flight risk and not be granted bail.
That's possible.
The FBI already took his passport.
I mean,
they could put him up in Epstein's cell, and
I don't think they're going to be.
Nature could take its course.
I don't. Well, okay. Do they really want to start the boogaloo?
Yeah. No
I mean, they might.
They're playing
4D checkers here.
Well, they're playing with a nuclear weapon. Seriously, if harm comes to Donald Trump, this country will just absolutely fracture, I'm afraid.
Well, yeah.
So
I'm really quite concerned about that. I'm concerned about his safety.
Well, that's what I think.
And I don't even particularly
I think there is veracity in what Assassin is saying about the Secret Service has made clear what they will and will not allow in this instance.
Yeah.
The New York City Police Department are not going to allow something untoward to occur on their watch. They are already furious with the DA's office.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship between the police department and the DA's office in Manhattan is not good, because they're turfing all these criminals on these no bail pops. And you've just got this revolving door, and you've got crime going up, and the New York City cops are left standing around with shit being spattered on them, not of their own making.
Oh, yeah. And these guys who are released out on bail after they've murdered somebody and then go out and murder 2 other people. Oh my God.
Well, you heard about the person that got put on the commutation list accidentally in Oklahoma, who's back in prison after he murdered someone and cut her heart out, took it home, cooked it, and tried to force his parents to eat it.
Oh my God.
What a lovely young guy.
Yeah.
Tried to force his parents to eat.
Yeah, and then he killed one of his parents and wounded the other. I mean, it's just
This was in Oklahoma.
yeah.
When was this? Was this recently?
Relatively recently, yeah.
Mhm.
But that's okay because like the story I sent you about Fairfax County.
Oh my God, that was revolting. I read that whole article.
I know, so did I, and I have never in my life heard anything stupider than when a young lady claims, and I will be very careful, like Harry was Saturday, in discussing this, because this was an underage individual who was sexually abused at school, not by authorities, but by fellow students. And she was significantly underage. This was in a middle school. And
where was this?
Herndon.
Herndon?
Fairfax County, Virginia. That's where
the Herndon farmers. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yep.
That used to be farm country.
Yes.
Anyway, so continue on with the story.
So she had,
please.
Her parents were aware that she'd been bullied, that there had been sexually explicit threats made against this girl. There was a sexually explicit threat called to her phone. And they approached the authorities at school about this, and the school was so concerned about these poor boys and their lack of privilege and upbringing and that kind of thing. They've had a rough time of it, don't you know?
Yeah.
So it was blown off. This girl was serially abused.
Clearly.
As in gang abuse.
Harry.
Howdy.
And apparently
Harry.
MS-13 took a page from our friends.
The cartels.
In the madrasa schools.
Well, those other cartels.
To groom for trafficking. And this girl was a victim of that. Now, it was medically...
recruitment.
Well, you ruin her.
Yeah.
So there isn't anything else she can do.
Right.
Drive them to the point of extinction almost. And then... Then sell them.
East Los Angeles is full of them.
Yeah, well, this is now Fairfax County, Virginia.
Yeah.
But the behavior of the school officials, and these, because the parents were trying to be somewhat proactive in this.
Where will this end up?
They told the parents that the girl was sexually active behind their back. I think she was 12.
Where will this case end up?
This case should end up, in my opinion, in a criminal court, because there's statutory involvement here. And the failure to step in and protect an underage individual from statutory assault. Assault with a capital A. Those people, I can't say, we'll picture Harry's allegedly, this is a joke, but I wouldn't cross the street.
Was she indigent?
No, she had parents.
Okay.
She had parents.
Could have it, allegedly.
Yes, thank you. And you can also put up "it's a joke" when I say if the adults involved.
A crackpot would
involved in this were locked inside that school, and the school happened to get a little smoky. I don't think any of us would mind. I can't.
That's enough allegedly.
I can't stand stories like this. They just infuriate me because it is absolute gross negligence and preferential treatment being given to certain groups of children, because the perpetrators were children too. But it doesn't excuse them. Those are lost boys, okay? They're lost. They are lost to the sociopathic machine that is MS-13.
Yep.
They have been swallowed whole. There's no saving them. I don't want to hear about it.
No, that's cancer in human form. That is cancer in human form, MS-13, in my opinion.
Yes, it is, because you cannot compare them to animals, because it is a gross abuse toward animals to say something like that. Animals don't act like this.
Well, some apes do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some apes are a little
Pretty out there.
dolphin-y.
Yeah.
But,
By the way, welcome to the
Hey, Harry.
Harry channel. Harry, how's your day going? I hope it's productive.
Yeah, I like that.
It's been reasonably productive. I'm trying to deploy a new compute cluster and with some fairly sophisticated software on it. And one of the systems just decided, I don't want to talk to the switch anymore. I just don't want to. And it's like, damn it.
Oh,
so
really?
I reached the point where I couldn't do any more work. Are you
physically near there?
No.
So you can't go
The nice thing about Microsoft Teams is you can actually, if you know the other person you're sending a message to is enough of an idiot to install it on their phone, you can do them a favor by right-clicking on the send icon, and you can actually schedule a time to send it. So, adjusting for his time zone, I've got it set up to go. So, I had reached the point where I couldn't do any more work, and I'm like, I should go join my friends. So,
thank you so much. It's so great to have you. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Prospero?
No, all I said was it was rather kind of Harry.
So we're talking about
to schedule the Microsoft Teams message that's going to go to the center.
Well, I mean,
Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Donald Trump, Skittles, the other Skittles.
Michael Cohen, Michael Avenatti.
About the carcinogenic and quote colors on Skittles.
Did California try to ban Skittles? I saw.
Yeah, there's some talk of the titanium dioxide. I mean, titanium dioxide just makes me lighter and stronger. I don't know what the problem is with that. Titanium's good stuff. I have a lot of titanium things.
Yeah, titanium tends to be non-reactive, which is why it's used in so many like pacemaker covers and things like that.
Yeah, no, I have a little tiny pry bar that I keep on my keychain, which is just sharp enough at the end that it's good for sort of opening packages without poking me in the leg all the time. And it's just titanium, so it weighs almost nothing. It's actually a super handy thing to have. I've used it on crates much bigger than I should use like a 3-inch pry bar on. But yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff made out of titanium. But anyway, though I digress, I assume we're all looking forward to Trump getting arrested tomorrow.
If he gets arrested tomorrow, because now there's a little cavilling out there in the reporting world that some rumors are swirling that Bragg is going to back off of this because the Federal Election Commission, declined to charge. They let the whole Stormy Daniels thing drop in the Manhattan DA's office earlier because they don't have a case.
No. Also, they lost their perp walk they wanted.
But I'm not trying to make you rehash this if you've already spent an hour talking about
it. No, we were just getting going. In fact, one of my musings was if they locked Trump up without bail and they locked him in Epstein's cell, the depressed cell, the cell that makes you sad.
The world's strongest one-ply toilet paper.
Well, hold on. Exactly. So do you think that Trump going out on Truth Social saying, "Hey, I'm going to be arrested or indicted on Tuesday," was kind of like a preemptive strike?
It might have been because that is his style.
It's just
punch
Trump
first.
And look at me. It's also a way to get.
It's a way to get attention, and it's also
does that reflexively.
Yes, and it's also that protests don't allow this, and then everybody's like, "Oh my god, J6, my god."
Let's not pretend that the other side really does like using. Oh shit! Now we need to use special ops to go and arrest this person in the middle of the night. Oh, and CNN and all these people are out there, and
the Roger Stone raid.
Yeah, so it's not like
they're not going to do that at Mar-a-Lago. They're not. They wouldn't be able to get close enough because I don't know. The Florida State Police might be hanging around that area.
Well, I don't know.
If I could just say this about January 6th, the sad thing about January 6th is people are put in a position where they have to defend these assholes who
Yes.
broke in to the Capitol, because the other side, who wants to just kill these guys and put them away forever or hang them.
Literally.
People want them executed. They want them executed.
They said so out loud.
And they say it on Twitter. And their accounts are just fine. So because of that, the other side, roughly defined as the conservative right-wing side of the Republican piece of the polity, gets their backup, says, no, we'll defend that at all costs. And they end up defending the indefensible, which is this thing. And then you have the shouters like Joy Reid who get on there and say, this was worse than the Civil War in many ways. In many ways. It was worse than, of course it was worse than 9/11. 9/11 was nothing. 9/11, some people did something.
That makes me
This is
yeah,
some people did some things, so, the Afghan war, Iraq war, some people did some things.
Happy anniversary of shock and awe, by the way.
Yeah.
But they bad touched our democracy, Skep.
Yeah, I know. We did. Fucking hell. Oh, I wish we could do that.
No, don't touch me there. You're protesting in my no square.
Hold on. Would they sit there and equate January 6th with making Georgia howl? Like, come on. The fuck are they talking about? They don't even know what they're fucking talking about. They're just spouting words. They
don't care, Adam. They're just trying to win. That's all they care about.
30,000 people died in one day at Shiloh.
Fucking retarded.
In one fucking day. One day. But no, January 6th was much worse than Shiloh.
Joy Reid is
Tatum.
Might be the dumbest fucking person on television.
Don Lemon.
I don't know. I don't know.
Rachel Maddow.
Solid candidates.
Rachel Maddow is not stupid, Jenna.
No, she's very smart. She's just evil.
She's partisan and evil, but she's
Why
very,
do I
very
always
smart.
She's utterly cynical.
Feel like I need to go into the corner, suck my thumb, and rock when she happens to appear on my television?
Because she has that effect on a lot of people. Yeah. She's shrill.
Yeah,
for a person without a high-pitched voice, she's shrill. She's harsh.
She's what we call a mid-wit intellectual.
I just remember when she got
I am the
pages
news.
Of
I am
Trump.
the science.
Yeah, personally, I'm not a fan of people who sit there and, hey, no, I'm the arbiter of information. It's like, you know what? No, you're not. And that's a fucking giant red flag. I can't take anybody seriously who fucking listens to that shit and it's like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
There are
women named Joy.
Yeah, there are so many people, Adam, who
on stage number 2
are so bereft of a personality these days. And so bereft of opinions, and it's all the way across the board. Why do you think Pinterest House and HGTV are so popular? Because God forbid you decorate your apartment, your condo, your van, your whatever, with what you want, what your taste is, what you like. You don't have to necessarily be trained to have an eye for an aesthetic, right? But no, I've got to go find out what everybody else is doing on Pinterest, and then I've got to copy that because that's what all the cool people are doing.
Right.
Well, you have the same nonsense when it comes to the news. Well, these people are on TV. Therefore, like the Gaineses, like Chip and Joanna Gaines, somehow or another, they cornered the market on taste. The only thing they seem to know about is shiplap, for fuck's sake. But I got to know what Chip and Joanna are doing. And the same thing goes for the Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, that kind of stuff. People surrender authority to anybody who is cocksure enough and confident enough and has enough Barnum in them to go out there and sell themselves and say, I'm the authority on this. I know this. I've got this information. Look at me. Aren't I smart? After all, I went
I
to
feel so
Columbia
virtuous
journalism school.
trusting this person.
And I'm a good person. See, I'm a good person because all these other people on Twitter think I'm a good person. I hang out with all the right people. I've met, Bill
My
Gates
hug
likes
box
me.
is soft and
You know,
cuddly.
yes.
If Bill Gates liked me, I would
Yeah.
seriously consider my life choices.
Yeah, but well, yes, because you're a discerning individual. These people have no discernment. They've been trained to not have any discernment. They have
Well,
been
hey, all the better. Listen to
cows.
me because I'm a bad guy. I'm the worstest guy ever. You should listen to me.
But that's it. People would follow you. Barnum was right. He just underestimated how quickly people are born who are suckers.
Wait, Barnum and Bailey Circus? The circus guy?
Yes, P.T. Barnum. There's a sucker born every minute.
Oh yeah.
He was an evil man.
No, he was not.
No, he was a businessman.
He was a businessman and slightly flawed, but not evil.
I think he was a Hannibal man.
Everybody is flawed, Jenna.
Come see the big show, friend. Step right up.
Step right
up. Sucker burn
So most of the crap that's said about him isn't true.
His biggest
Wait, are we talking
problem
about
was
P.T.
he
Barnum or
allowed clowns.
W.C. Fields?
Well, I was
track.
pretending that P.T. Barnum spoke
was
like
W.C.
W.C. Fields,
Wait,
doing a lame
who's
imitation of
W.C.
old-timey
Fields?
talk.
An actor.
He's an old-timey comedian and he's awesome.
I'd
Or he
rather
was.
be in
Oh
Philadelphia.
wait, W.C. Fields. Isn't he the guy with the cigar and
Yeah.
the big red nose?
And the pork pie hat.
Yes, and the bulbous nose.
That's
Wait,
it.
what does he
You
have
got
to
him,
do with
Adam.
fucking the circus?
Because Skep was doing W.C. Fields. Harry was like, "You're doing W.C. Fields." Was kind of W.C. Fields rammed up Jimmy Cagney's ass
Harry, how in the hell
as
did
the
you
P.T.
connect
Barnum voice.
Okay, that's the last time I'm.
Yeah, don't do
Yeah.
W.C. Fields anymore.
No.
I gotta connect W.C. Fields to the.
Sorry
the
about that.
circus there,
You're not Rich
see?
Little. It's okay. No, we all can't be.
Yeah, I'm singularly untalented.
Are she? You know what Johnny Carson said the first time he met Jimmy Cagney? Because Cagney had become reclusive and wasn't around a lot. And somebody invited Johnny Carson to a party. Specifically, he said it was like just a hangout. Jimmy Cagney's going to be over. I know you've always wanted to meet him.
Yep, so good.
He walked in, and Cagney said, "Nice to meet you, kid," or whatever. And Carson was so nonplussed. He was like, "That was good." As if it were somebody impersonating Jimmy Cagney.
Well, if we're going with old
That amused me.
I'd go with Larvel and Hardy.
Larval and Hardy.
Larvel and Hardy.
Laurel.
Laurel and Hardy.
Thank you. It sounded like you said larval, and
Well,
I
possibly.
I was just kind of picturing larvae. I don't know why that's funny to me.
Well, it'd be a Pixar feature.
Yes, it would be part of
You see.
Zootopia. It would be the opening feature before
Yeah.
Zootopia. Larval and Hardy.
Yeah, a nice presentation to ease the younger audiences into the classical.
We would like to offer a laurel and hearty welcome to our new sheriff. What's that from?
A movie from ancient time.
From the 1970s.
Movie you cannot
yes.
make again.
A movie you cannot make again. You're absolutely right. Or I should have said it's true. It's true.
I need a gift for that. Okay.
A laurel and hearty handshake. It just, for some reason, that was one of the lines that just made me laugh out loud in the theater. I think it was because it was just so Mel Brooks stupid. Hello?
What?
There you go, assassin. Good job.
I'm just trying to get a GIF.
Oh shit! Hey, has anybody? Wait, is what's the new one called? History
Oh,
of the
History of the
World
World
Part 2?
Part 2. Haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet, but I understand it's going to really upset people.
Is it out
Good.
yet, or?
Yeah, I think it has been released.
I just don't want it to upset people because it's crap. See, because it would make me sad if he
Yeah,
you
if
know,
he just
put it
made a
out and then it's
crappy
like,
film.
okay, should have retired, cut it out.
Well, there were parts of History of the World Part 1 that I thought needed editing, but that's an issue that I've had with Mel Brooks on a lot of films where there's some extraneous stuff that would be that's perfect. That is, oh God, and nobody could hear him.
Yeah, I know.
I can't. Yeah,
No,
I just,
Dark Grum
yeah,
said the sheriff is near. He said the sheriff is near.
yep. Oh my God. That is just so awful. I love that movie. And it's not because the N word is in it. I love that movie for so many reasons.
Yeah.
There's, honest to God,
Camel.
Gene Wilder was wonderful. Just wonderful.
Yeah, we didn't deserve him.
Yeah.
And we certainly didn't deserve Madeline Kahn. She was such a superb comedian.
I feel really bad because
I'm tired.
any of these people.
Tired of being desired. Oh my God, they keep coming and going and going and coming and always too soon. There's just so many throwaway jokes in that. But Lily Van Stoop, just her name alone was a joke. You know, Lily Van Stoop.
I was only not really yelling at you for the what's next Jews in Space because I think we've already had Jews in Space.
Well, that was the preview of History of the World Part. At the end of History of the World Part 1, Brooks had a bunch of, at the time, fake previews of History of the World Part 2, and one of them was Jews in Space. And it kind of looks like they've done it.
Oh, good.
One of the things was Jews in Space. One of the others was Hitler on Ice. But we're Jews out in space, for zooming along, protecting the Hebrew race.
You're making a
so perfect
German of yourself, Prospero.
I'm doing what?
Ask Camel.
I'm not. I don't.
So there is a thing that happened. What was it yesterday that I guess Crowder came back?
Oh
Yeah.
I was looking at his little enterprise he's putting together, and some of the people he has with him. I was impressed to see that he got Nick DiPaolo to come on and do a show on his little thing. I mean, that's not nothing. I mean, he's got a number of pretty funny people on there with him. I don't know if he's going to have enough, if there's enough there for him to be able to make this work financially, but the initial viewership.
Is this a new lineup in
Yeah.
his show?
Yeah, he's basically created a new. Well, he's created a new little media entity since he didn't go with Daily Wire. So he's got his own thing, and he's got a few other people with him now. I think Jim Brewer, Nick DiPaolo, some gun guy I've never heard of. Sorry,
Yes,
I'm just not
I
a
didn't
gun
know the
person.
gun guy.
But he's put together a little mini empire.
He didn't get Colleen Noir, did he?
No.
Oh shoot.
But it's interesting. There's another player now on sort of the conservative social media stage, in addition to what is it? Daily Caller, Daily Wire, Prager.
Daily Wire.
There's a few. There's a few of them around.
The Blaze.
The Blaze.
The Blaze is what he left.
Yeah, but that's where Glenn Beck is and a few other people.
You know, actually, though, I saw a long form interview that Glenn Beck did with Richard Dreyfuss that was very interesting.
Really?
About 3 months
ago.
Was
Richard Dreyfuss?
Well, yes, they actually met and became acquainted because of both of them having a love of American history. And this was during the campaign in 2016. I remember seeing a picture of the two of them. Beck was doing something, and Dreyfuss happened to be at this thing. And Beck had a piece of Washington memorabilia with him.
Cool.
And he asked Dreyfus if he wanted to see it. And I mean, Dreyfus was like kid in a candy shop. Because Dreyfus has been pushing an initiative to ensure that civics are taught, not just taught in schools, but stressed in schools.
Real civics?
Yes. He said people need to know the Constitution. They need to know the history of the men that wrote the Constitution. They need to know who these people were, what they did. He said Enlightenment values rescued this world from darkness.
Amen.
Oh, he is a true believer when it comes to that. He said if
Preach, brother.
are to lose those Enlightenment values, we will be thrown back into the Dark Ages. He said more people have been lifted to light and prosperity through those values than any other.
Absolutely.
And I mean, his parents were communists.
Yeah.
Dreyfus's were. But, you know, he reveres Washington like Beck does. They're you know, Beck is an interesting man. He's he is peculiar, but he is intelligent.
He's deeply intelligent, yeah.
And an autodidact, and a pretty decent one.
He's kind of the Orson Scott Card of politics, in my opinion. It's kind of like, you know, does really good work sometimes, but I always have to remember that there might be crazy at any moment. So I just kind of brace myself.
Well,
any moment it could go.
It's like is
Bilderberg
like Scary Beck going to show up? Because it'd be like sane, you know, you know, and then sane.
Yeah, but you know what? He was one of those people back in the day that started pointing at George Soros when nobody knew who Soros was. And
Rush Limbaugh had that on pretty early.
Yeah. But Rush and Beck were about the only two people ever talking about George Soros. And they're crazy.
Early Limbaugh was best Limbaugh. Sorry.
Drawing conspiracy theories. And I know it's the guy with the string, and then, you know, it's like becomes crazy. And I mean, Dreyfus goes off the reservation a little bit in that discussion, where you're like, whoa, should I be getting the aluminum foil?
Or off the crazy road, off the sanity.
Well, it's hard to tell, isn't it? You know, I mean, I'm sorry, but after the freaking pandemic, I mean, really, after the fall, you know, après le déluge.
I know.
C'est moi.
Deluge, right.
I don't know whether these people are crazy or not. Because I've watched perfectly sane people say perfectly sane things and be accused of spreading conspiracy theories for the last 3 years. I caught up recently on Dr. John Campbell's channel, like his past 5 or 6 videos, and that is just simply. I wonder what the view of the belt from the bell tower is kind of viewing.
Yeah.
If you
get the clarity that you get from Campbell is it's unparalleled.
Well, my hat's off to that gentleman who stood in Parliament to an empty room and gave the speech he gave.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that was a remarkable piece of work to an empty house that had been emptied, it appears, by a Tory running over and telling the Lib Dems to get the fuck out of the chamber so there wouldn't be anybody there except one backbencher who is not afraid to ask questions, and a minister, and the deputy speaker. Shame on those people. Yeah, shame on all of them, and shame on the fact that what has been going on in Congress
that will not be forgotten.
In the investigation into gain of function.
I promise you that will not be forgotten.
Oh, it will not be. Not when you have the acting CDC director being excluded from a conversation of global
significance. Yeah.
Virologists and people. And the fact that the Lancet, which was pretty much non-pareil when it came to medical journals in the world,
It's the New England Journal of Medicine of Europe.
if not a better standing, has just tore itself to bits. It's no longer trustworthy.
No.
Nor
No.
is the New England Journal of Medicine is no longer trustworthy. None of these
Right.
individuals are
How
trustworthy.
about JAMA? JAMA's
Oh, they've
completely
gone to
poured out.
shit. And I mean, the WHO, it's just absolutely risible that anybody gives a shit what Tedros thinks.
Stay the fuck away from those people.
I mean, get rid of them. They ought to be. That is a group that actually ought
Needs
to
to be disbanded.
You'd be better off getting medical advice from Dr. Phil than
Yeah.
Tedros.
Yeah, or Dr. Jill. Dr.
Or
Phil or Dr.
or Dr.
No.
Oz.
I don't know about Dr. Jill.
She is a medical doctor and
Wait.
could be and should have been Surgeon General of the United States had she not been oppressed.
Had she been born as a biological male, then maybe.
Yes.
But no.
Yes, then
I-
she's Surgeon General.
I would
Yeah.
I would probably take her medical advice over Tedros. I'm not kidding you. You know,
Yeah,
that's how shit he is.
I don't know. That's a real race to the bottom, if you ask me.
Yeah, it is.
I
It
still
is.
think Dr. Phil, because at least Dr. Phil, instead of giving your kid Ritalin, would just send him to the ranch. You know, it's like, kid's not paying attention. We should get him Ritalin? No. Ranch.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, get him out
Did
there
you-
working, burning,
Mucking
off
out some
of that energy.
stalls.
Yeah. Hauling,
Biscuits and
hauling
gravy
some
for
sacks of-
breakfast.
He's not
DDD.
wrong. Our incidences of ADD and ADHD went up significantly when we began cutting back on recess and lengthening class time.
Yeah. It sure is good that the pharmaceutical industry is here to find solutions to all of our problems that are getting worse so that we don't have to think about the root causes of those problems.
Yes, or
Yeah.
Don't use logic.
It was
Or-
probably underdiagnosed in the past. There's definitely nothing that's changed that's causing all these people to have ADD and depression. Everything's fine. And if you don't think so, then you're a bigot.
yeah, and of course nothing has changed. Absolutely.
What a tidy world to live in.
Oh
Isn't
my
it?
God! Yeah, it's
Depressed, it's probably just your inner monologue telling you about what a racist piece of crap you are that's making you sad. The little voice in your head
This is
telling
brave
you to
Because the
change.
inmates being in control of the asylum cannot be any more clear than what is going on now.
Well, Skep is right, because I've read Brave New World, and it's like, what is it, better a gram than a dam? I'm trying to remember
Yes.
what the thing is. Huxley was not afraid of drugs, but people keep
I'd
thinking it's
maintain
going to be
you're right,
1984, and no, it's going to be like 3/4 Brave New World. That's what I've been saying for a while.
And a
like
quarter
decades.
1984. They'll be the
Yeah.
empty your mind comrade using this magic metal
And
cylinder.
both
And,
both those dystopias, don't you think, invite or imply that the only way for a society to get well is to push back against those tendencies
Yes, it is.
that brought about that social condition, right?
So here's Skep. I'll give you this.
What's that?
What you're going to get is the politics of 1984 and the social system of Brave New World.
Wait a minute. What about Harrison Bertrand? Because I think we're already seeing that inequity.
It's just I'm talking about like just culture, right? You know, sort of all the sexual stuff, the way people cope with anxiety, that sort of thing. It's all like straight out of Brave New World. Reproductive
I
stuff
agree.
is going to catch up. We're going to have the reproductive system of Brave New World before too much longer.
And we'll raise our children in groups, and the state will do it.
The state will
start
do it. They'll be
raising-
grown in a petri dish, made to
That's
order
for
to
real.
fill whatever thing.
That's
whether
for real.
we need a certain number of alphas, betas, gammas, and deltas. You know, and
There you go.
somebody's got to do landscaping.
Mangala would be so proud. He really would be.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna fault it on the drogas that I've been doing, but I will say, I hate to abruptly abandon the chat, but I gotta go.
Dude,
That's
yeah.
that's
Some
fine.
sleep.
We're about to call it anyway.
It's
So,
almost midnight
thanks
and a half for you anyway. So
Yeah,
we
we
do.
only got like 6
Yeah.
minutes to go. But yeah,
Night, Adam.
Well,
Adam, Thank
It
you
was
so much
kind
for
of a
joining
scary
us.
dystopian
Yeah, no
nightmare.
kidding.
I was like, holy shit.
I'm just
Before
a
these
regular
people
ray of
say-
sunshine today.
I hope Harry didn't scare you, Adam.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go watch some like.
Cartoons work.
But I don't
I-
even know
Adam,
because those
just-
cartoons are,
Smoke some more medicine.
yeah, well,
just sing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it's sound kind of, that stuff.
Atrocious.
yeah, but that's also like some
I-
crazy deep state fucking algorithm monarch.
The sun will
Thing to-
come out tomorrow.
This is all.
Bet
This
your
is all.
$5 that
Knew I should
tomorrow.
join the show.
Okay.
Sun.
How
Oh,
about
no.
The lollipop
goodbye,
field.
good night?
Hey,
A long
yeah.
farewell of
Dirty.
Wiedersehen.
Wizard of Oz is probably even worse. No,
like
it
that.
was fun. I'm sure I'll find some fun
Jenna's
stuff.
got new words to so long farewell, and I really like them.
We need some
What were
helium
my
so
new
we can
words?
say it. So we can
Vider
sing it
Zena
right.
Zoo, do.
Sounded like
What
you said
yeah.
interchange instead of Aus Wiedersehen. And I was like, so long, farewell, interchange.
Good night.
It was
Yeah.
So Harry, would Freon be better to inhale to get a funny voice? Would you get a higher voice than helium?
I don't know.
Don't do
Would
it
you
at
get a
home,
higher
kid.
voice than helium? I know that I think it's what is it, xenon, that makes your voice really deep.
Yeah,
It's like the opposite of helium.
Right, exactly. And that's the inner. I'd heard that. I've not seen that.
I have seen it once or twice. It's just it's an expensive prank.
For
Yeah,
any
xenon
children
is
listening,
really expensive gas. Yeah, it really is.
for any
You know-
children listening that may belong to me, if you try it, it will not end well for you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Try not to
Don't
inhale
try
any
this at
gases.
home. Don't do
any
this with
gases.
Don't do
Freon.
anything at home.
You
Just
should-
sit motionless. Don't
Just
touch
sit waiting
anything.
for your betters to tell you what to do.
Don't touch anything. Don't do
Consumer-
anything. Don't say
Consumer
anything.
Product Safety Commission says.
Wait,
don't
I'm not done
move.
with my PCA.
PSA.
Thank you.
PSA.
I'm
Okay.
dyslexic.
A
If you
C
try to get
isn't even
your
in the
younger
word.
what?
A C isn't even in the acronym. You can't blame that on dyslexia.
I'm really,
She's-
really tired.
She has dyslexia.
You know what it is? You know what a PCA is? It's a public certified accountant.
Well, fine. If you try to get it done on one of your younger siblings or your
Jeez.
older siblings, Eric, life will not end well.
Uh-oh, she's afraid they're listening.
Mhm.
I woofed some heroin. Heroin. Haha, no, I
When
didn't.
does life end well?
Helium. I tried inhaling helium one time. It was fine. I mean, my voice sounded really funny, and then my voice leveled off by the time I finished speaking a sentence.
Have you ever inhaled so much helium you passed out?
No, I have not.
Yeah,
I
Don't displace
have
the
done that.
oxygen.
You really can do that. It's very easy to do. if
Well, I
you don't breathe out
understand.
all the helium you first breathe in.
Yeah,
that's why.
but I mean, I did a little.
You cleared your lungs. And
I
so-
did a little balloon chuff, and
Yeah.
then bah, the whole purpose was to empty my lungs
Mhm.
because of hearing the sound, and then hearing the sound go from a higher register down.
But let me tell you how fast it is, because I took a full lung full of helium. I said this funny thing, and then
Passed
without
out.
taking more oxygen, I took another hit of helium, and
Idiot.
I keeled right over. And
Idiot.
that was, yeah, of course. It
Yeah,
was,
it was better.
there was liquor involved, of course.
Of
in
course.
in my more
And that was
entertaining years, but yeah,
That
that was
was the
actually
night-
at an advertising agency's annual party, and a big one, a big Dallas agency, and we were all celebrating.
Don't we all miss the 80s?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
prefer
don't have
TDA
spare
advertising and
kids.
design.
What's that?
I said I
don't
prefer
have
TDA
spare kids.
advertising and design. The ones that did the funny spec ads for the one with at TDA. You know the one I'm talking about with with the prostitutes that opens up, and at TDA we never charge our prostitutes to your account.
Yes.
You know the one I'm talking about.
Yes, I saw.
And then at the very end, the old creepy guy shows up. TDA advertising design, where the client is never charged for prostitutes.
Actually. Well, you remember the great monster ads about setting wolves on marching band,
Mm-hmm.
and then the hamster cannon,
Mm-hmm.
and then people got so upset by both of them that they had to completely get the campaign. Just it was so silly because the setting the wolves on the marching band. I knew people who were in marching band who thought that was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And the hamster
What was the
cannon,
objection to that?
well, it was that's disgusting. Why do you hate marching bands? You're gonna
No,
and
no, they
and then the
did not.
hamster cannon. It's cruel that people are gonna do this to their hamsters. And I'm
Well,
like,
you can't.
Were any
You
hamsters
can't
actually
make
harmed?
everybody
of course
happy.
not.
No.
Of course you can't.
Bunch of wimps.
Well, in my
But,
case, can't make anybody happy.
Y'all have a good evening.
You too,
All right,
Adam.
Bon voyage.
Thanks for
Adam.
hanging with us,
Sweet
bud.
dreams, son.
Have a good night.
Good night, bud.
All right, Camel, I'll do that.
What's that? What
I'll
did
have-
Camel tell you to do?
2 for replacement and an extra for spare parts. Children.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! She doesn't
Unfortunately,
need any more.
you're-
She's got more than a month's worth now.
Well, your kids are so diverse. I don't think any of them could be spare parts for
it's,
the
it's
others.
all proprietary.
That's
all
not
the
true.
parts are
Elizabeth's
proprietary.
spare parts for Grant.
A lot of one-offs, though. Well,
Yeah.
that's fine for Grant or Elizabeth.
Yeah, lucky.
Everybody
Right.
else is
That's
the rest
screwed.
of the crew.
Yeah.
It's not
They're
great
ours.
for Elizabeth. She's like, wait a minute.
It's like,
What kind of a-
Mom, I stepped on a man of war. I need a new foot. I'm sorry,
kind of a
we don't have a
hell
compatible
palace you
donor.
Who keeps taking the skin off my ass and sticking it on my brother?
I keep,
Yeah.
keep waking up with like a gauze bandage on my legs. It's like, yeah. Little sign says, "Don't pick at this bandage." Yeah, it's good times. But we did. We made it 2 hours, Skep.
Hooray!
We've done it. 2 hours of broadcast
I
excellence.
just love that seagull sitting on that sign.
Participation medal.
Absolutely.
The seagull
love
on that
that.
sign and the dog leaning against
I love
the
this.
dog.
Yeah, that's
And you know
it.
what else I love? This.
Yes. But it's just it appeals to the libertarian and all
Shit
of
with your
it.
bullshit shirt.
Fuck you.
Oh, you've never surfed, lying little shit with your bullshit shirt.
I try to explain this to people without showing them the meme. I just try to tell them what it says, and they just look at me like I'm just gone. They don't understand.
I think
No,
it's
every time I look at this, I just laugh.
it's just because the guy's expression is so kind of
Lying little shit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
What our thought bubbles actually say versus because he's just got the fixed grandpa look on his face.
Oh my gosh. I'd be so screwed if thought bubbles that actually popped up.
Yeah.
Because I have some.
That's like Elizabeth Warren finally elected president of the United States. That's what that's
Is
what
this
her
guy
inner id would look
celebrating?
like.
And this
or
is
throwing
not me.
fit Or crying.
No, that's not you.
That's not me.
That's totally not you.
I did not listen to Kenny Rogers when I was a kid. I listened to Mel Torme.
Yeah,
I
know,
did, seriously.
and your grandfather never would
The
have
Velvet
permitted-
Fog, man.
Velvet Fog. I told you why
Mom
I
and
started
Dad like
listening
Look
to
Look
it,
at
right?
that computer.
Do you
your
remember-
grandfather never would
I
have
remember
permitted
you
that
telling me
hair.
the story, Harry. I can't remember the story.
Okay,
Tell-
to make it short, I would have friends come over and they wouldn't leave. So I started grabbing what I thought was the least cool music from my grandparents' record collection and just putting it on. So I'd put on Don Ho, What was the other thing?
Torment.
The guy who crashed his airplane, his experimental airplane,
John
John
Denver.
Denver.
and Mel Torme. And I actually started unironically enjoying Mel Torme. I'm like, hey, I actually got
Wait, your
I was like
friends
the
would be
weird kid
over.
that liked Mel Torme.
Your friends would be over, and you tried to get rid of them.
Well, because
Yeah.
they needed to leave because I needed to go to school the next morning.
I would have pulled out an old Mancini song called
Why
Backdoor in
didn't-
Paradise.
Someone say,
Go home.
"Kids, it's 6 o'clock. Go away." It's
Because it was
sometime."
way more fun hanging out with me than it was. I just had to make it not fun to be here, and then they would leave.
But why didn't the adults in your house say, "It's supper time. Kids, go home"?
We're talking more like 9:30, 10 p.m. This
How
isn't
old
your
were
house.
you?
This isn't the Jenna plantation.
How old were
You
you?
best set your mind to working.
How old
How
were
old
you?
was I? I don't know. Junior high, high school.
Oh, well, that's different.
Yeah.
I thought you were
That's a-
talking
that's
about
a
being
handsome
like
shirt.
8 and your friends hanging out till 9 o'clock. They should have
No, I
been
was-
in bed 2 hours before that.
I was kind of, I don't know, musically illiterate until about 5th grade.
What changed?
Singing, seriously,
Really?
classics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
doing church music.
You
Would
you
have-
were in
No, I
chorus.
was in a community choir.
community
and,
Oh,
choir?
okay.
I
and,
thought you were in a church choir at one point doing like sacred stuff.
no, well, I was in a community choir doing sacred stuff.
Okay.
Like
Well, that-
St. Matthew's Passion and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah. Well, that will tap in.
Yeah.
You know,
You were in a choir, weren't you, Prospero?
I did chorus
Or
starting
chorus,
in
I mean.
7th grade, maybe.
Yeah,
It's 7th or 8th. I can't remember now.
sure.
And so I did chorus and special chorus. There were 2 of them in high school, and then in choir in college, I was part of the university choir as well as I auditioned my sophomore year for Schola Cantorum.
You were on the University of Richmond choir? You sang, really? Oh, that's cool.
And I was in the Schola Cantorum of the University of Richmond, which was the 15 to 18 voices, depending on who happened to show up and which year it was. Small ensemble. And we did more complex work than the choir,
Right.
because it was,
Just
you know,
that's what that means. Does that mean singing study or
school.
something?
Singing
school. Yeah.
Cantorum Schola. Yeah, and so it was did madrigal work and some interesting stuff sung in German, French, Russian, Italian,
Much rap.
English. No rap.
No rap.
No
hip
no
hop.
WAP.
No hip hop.
No hip hop.
Yeah, no hip hop.
Well, hip hop was just actually kind of coming along
Yeah,
out of that time.
gaining respectability.
Yeah, and then I did
popularity.
I did a season with the Richmond Symphony Chorus.
Neat. Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Then I was in a church choir.
Yeah.
So did some fun stuff. Did some stuff that makes me want to like punch people in the face.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
did some time signatures in Benjamin Britten that are just like, come here. I need to slap you. But a lot of fun. We did choir tour. I didn't get to go to Europe after my freshman year, sadly.
you should sue.
Yeah, I know. My father was like, you didn't work last summer. You're working this summer. I showed him I got mono. No, I would have probably
God, that's
felt pretty
next
horrible.
level passive aggressive.
No, yeah, it wasn't deliberate. I had it when I got home. And I went back to work as soon as I was able. But
As soon as I'm able.
they were doing a Bach tour in Europe. And I really wanted to go. And my parents were like, nope. I was between freshman and sophomore year, and they didn't tour again. Except domestically. Which I got to take my college choir to the Old Ship Church in Hingham, Massachusetts.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's wicked cool.
it was. It was nice, and we were in a couple spaces where you could do some really nice. Oh God,
What?
I can't remember the word. I almost said
I know. That's hell.
polyphony, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
What are you trying to describe?
voices answering one another from across a chamber
Oh, the
in singing.
Echo?
Okay,
no,
it's kind
no,
of,
no. It's call and response kind of a thing.
it's
but
blah
there's
blah
there-
funny. It's
right.
like
There's yeah.
antiphony, polyphony.
No,
Stop thinking about it and it'll come to you.
Jenna,
no. She and I both know it. It's both in our passive knowledge, and we can't dig it out.
well, whatever it is, we're a chamber where the choir would be split on both sides, where you have a really good space, like Bruton Parish Church in Williamsburg, where you have a nice echoey brick building. It's can be a lot of fun. Why can't I remember the goddamn word? It's killing me. I'll come up with it at 2:00 in the morning.
It'll be in Discord.
Maybe.
Wasn't it 2 a.m. for you now?
Not yet.
The Baroque era used call and response technique called binary form. Call and response style is used in all genres of music: gospel, folk, traditional, Latin, rap, hip hop, army songs, children's songs, blah blah. Interesting. Antiphony.
Is it antiphony?
And antiphonal music is music that contains short themes or phrases that echo back and forth. The echo often beginning before the theme ends. Call and response is one kind of antiphonal music.
So
That's
it is
what I'm picking up.
antiphony.
Composers sometimes use one set of sounds alternating with another set of sounds also. So it's not just sound. It can be sets of sounds.
Yeah,
But the echo's important.
but also the answer is important.
Yeah, it's the call and response.
It's
one form of it.
Yeah.
Is one form of it. According to this is the
right. This was
Neuroscience for Kids, Washington.edu. It looks like University of Washington.
This wasn't straight call and response. It was just more of the music having parts that would bounce back and forth and then weave together. And if you had a good chamber with a separate choir loss on either side, that you could do that. If you have good sound in the chamber, it works. Otherwise, the sound kind of goes out there, and you can feel it. You almost can physically feel it hit the space and die.
Really?
Yeah, you just know you're not getting that feedback. There's no harmonic feedback at all.
Yeah. By the way, that big honking link that I put in there is that article on antiphonal music and the definitions in it from music school. Like I think it's at University of Washington.
There's a wonderful piece of music in English called the Echo Song. That is,
that's right,
antiphonal. And we did that in Scola, and it was so much fun. It's just a delightful, like some of the some madrigals are, they're just a delight to listen to. Voices dancing all around one another, especially when you have multi-part harmonies.
Yep.
It can be hard to stand next to someone who's singing one particular line while you're singing another.
That is some of the hardest singing I think there is to do.
And
it is for me anyway.
Antiphonal, when you're practicing it standing right next to a person who's a measure ahead of you, or two and a half measures, or three.
Like you're singing in rounds or something. Yeah.
But not quite.
Yeah, just one off.
Mm-hmm.
And to get that shimmery tremolo kind of effect. And I know what you're talking about.
It's almost like a wave, like a sonic wave that hits because of it.
Antiphony was what I thought it was, and then you said no, it's not antiphony.
I know. Polyphony is what I said, and then I thought,
that's
antiphony, and it's like antiphonal.
Right.
And I don't usually say antiphony. It's antiphonal. I guess that's why it didn't sound right. I don't know. Cacophony.
Yeah. Cacophony. That's exactly what I was thinking. From it. But anyway, we probably should shut this down because
Yes,
we have
please.
been going on and on and on. But I have just been enjoying this time with my friends. Thank you, my friends in chat. Thank you, my friends on the panel. This has been such fun. And it's always an honor to be your zookeeper. But for tonight, the zoo is closed. And I want to